Heroin overdoses are at an all-time high in Cincinnati. First responders experience the dark side of drug addiction in a way most of us can't, up close and personal.
Cincinnati Fire invited 9 on Your Side I-Team reporter Hillary Lake to spend a shift with them to give you really a raw look into the heroin epidemic we are seeing. And we do want to warn you, some of what you're about to see could be uncomfortable to some.
It is also now the norm for firefighters and paramedics across the city.
A good meal's a mainstay at fire stations across Cincinnati.
Bacon makes you happy.
So is camaraderie among firefighters who act more like family than co-workers.
You just never know what's going to come with this job. Some days it's super busy, some days it's slow.
It's Friday evening in the firehouse. While this young paramedic eagerly listens for the next call, this career firefighter calmly shows off his culinary skills, knowing dinner wasn't served all week.
Tuesday about noon or so, it seemed like the whole city blew up with heroin.
Lieutenant Gary Yates tells me his team and another firehouse responded to 30 calls alone that day.
We were just lined up at the hospital with overdoses, and then we would leave and then go right back out to another one and then go right back to the hospital. Through
Sunday night, crews responded to more than 100 heroin overdoses. 3 people died.
Today, we've only had a couple. It hasn't been as crazy, but we still got 9-10 hours left.
Like clockwork, dinner gets put on the back burner. The 9 on Your Side I-Team is out the door with Cincinnati Fire Company 17.
How are we going to get down there? We're going to have to pull off or something.
They're rolling literally feet from the firehouse in Lower Price Hill.
Got a drug box.
They don't fully know what they'll discover at the end of the trail. They only know someone saw a woman lying on the ground under the 8th Street Viaduct.
We go by just the basics, like number one, do they have a pulse? Are they breathing? If they're not breathing, that's common with heroin, they stop breathing. We start bagging them. We always look out for needles. That's probably our number one concern. Is this person shot up? Where's their needle at?
The needle this woman likely used is inches from her lifeless body. The entire scene, a startling view of the dangers of this epidemic. Every second counts. 8 minutes after we left the fire station, she finally comes to. No one knows how long she was down before that. Paramedic Holt tells me it's pretty typical.
That's Narcan. I mean, you go from not breathing to all of a sudden you're walking.
Next stop, Queen City Medical Center. While the paramedics make sure the patient is safe, Lieutenant Yates returns to his post in the kitchen where he thinks about what's in a different recipe.
So whatever happened here last 3 days, somebody mixed up something way too strong.
As Company 17 sits down to Friday night dinner, they're grateful they only responded to 3 heroin overdose calls during the shift, a steep decline from days earlier.
I think we're well prepared for it now that we kind of know what to expect.
A trend they think will sadly happen again, making meals like this even more meaningful.
So how are they preparing? Firefighters tell me they now expect to always give more than the minimum dose of Narcan to patients, since recent batches of heroin are stronger than ever. In studio, Hillary Lake, 9 on Your Side.